Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So I finally got the community tab going on the channel after hitting 1,000 subscribers, which is great. And I've got a giveaway coming up soon. Just working on it. Maybe in a week or two, you'll get some news out. I think it's something that a lot of people who actually follow the channel will really like, and I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully, I mean, you are too. You don't know what it is yet, but you will very soon. I think people will like it. Okay, so right, the community um, tab. The community tab is now working, which is great news. And I had decided to set up a Q&A session. So if anyone had questions, they could just post them here. I'm planning on doing it as a monthly sort of segment in the channel. So for Jan 2021 would be this Q&A. I'll put up another post later on the community tab, so you can always leave a question there and I'll answer that in Feb, probably towards the end of Feb. So let me know what you think about this segment, series, whatever you want to call it. Or if you prefer this, or if you prefer something similar to what Brad and I did, where we just have questions and both of us kind of give our thoughts. I personally like that, like rather than just doing it myself. But let me know. Let me know if we could do both. Like I could do these plus do collaborations with other channels that you may like. So yeah, we can get into that as it develops. Let's get to the questions. The first question is from Jigar, which is thoughts on SPAC and like to know which sector are you building your circle of competence. Right. So SPACs, it's good. It's good, especially the way that it was mentioned on corner of Berkshire and Fairfax, where they use SPACs as like a way to hold cash. I think that's interesting. But in my experience, at least with investing, has been you're never short of you're never short of opportunities to invest. You're short of always cash. So like being able to like put in cash into a good idea, because good ideas don't come around very often. Like if they're blocked in SPACs, or like if you're just keeping them invested for whatever reason, I don't know, it doesn't really it's not something I would do. Like the strategy makes sense, it definitely does. Like rather than just having the cash lie around, put it into like IEF or SHV, like short-term bond ETFs or SPACs. SPACs also are a good option. But I personally just don't mind having the cash drag. Like I want to have liquidity ready anytime I find a new opportunity where I can just, okay, I can start buying. I can start getting into it. So yeah, it's just a personal opinion. SPACs are great, but I would not get into them. Yeah, and even if you're going for SPACs, I'd go for the larger ones. Like if it's just as a store of value sort of thing, yeah, better to go for the larger ones that are trading at cash value, not at a premium to the cash they hold. So yeah, that's the thoughts I have about SPACs. In terms of circle of competence, I don't really go into sectors per se to find opportunities. If something comes up and the company, it kind of makes sense. Like, what is the business model? How does the company actually, generate cash? Then I actually start looking into the company. It's not like I go and find sectors like, okay, um, this area is undervalued. We should go digging into that. I don't normally tend to do that because it's difficult enough to figure out, like, focus on the businesses that you hold, um, rather than keep looking at sectors and find opportunity within those sectors. Yeah, I think all you need is like 1 to 2, maybe like 3, 4 good ideas in 1 year, and like you're set. So so yeah, in terms of sectors, not really digging into anything. But saying that, I am interested in REITs. Recently, I've just been like studying about REITs because um, I like learning about the structure, the way it's set up. What are the tax implications? How REITs actually benefit? How they've evolved over the years? The history of REITs. I think that's just personal curiosity, to be honest, more than investing decisions, at least for at the moment. So yeah, I'm learning about REITs. That's a sector that's interesting to me now. Okay. Second question. What's your thought on Tesla? Is it overvalued? So um, value can mean completely different things to different people. So someone else, like when Kathy Wood was saying that Tesla is worth $4,000-5,000 just like 2-3 years back, people thought she was like a little bit off. But here we are, and Tesla is worth $4,000-5,000 per share. And I mean, of course, I'm looking at the pre-split price, but yeah, it reached there. Like, so what is overvalued? What is undervalued? You know, it's it varies with perception. With there's a lot of variables to it. Yeah, it may not, like Tesla. The valuation may not make sense to a lot of people. Like many people may not be able to justify a certain valuation. Doesn't make it overvalued, I guess. I know it feels weird saying that, but like to me, I think it's a complete like bubble. Although I'm super bullish on the company, like the actual company and what their plan is and what they've actually executed so far, like really revolutionized the world in a way. Yeah, just through this company. And yeah, so I don't know if it's overvalued. I don't know if it's undervalued. I don't know if it's very valued, but when I see a company actually selling shares and raising capital, that's a good sign about what management is thinking. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, cool. So the next question is from Dive the Word. I would love to see you interact with the popular investor on YouTube, aka Robert Merck on eToro, been on eToro about the same length of time, different characters, but share certain approaches. So I actually went through Robert's portfolio on eToro, and he started like right as the dip had happened. So I think around March, and he's done very well. Even his channel, like I really like the content he puts out. Yeah, I would love to do a collab or something with him if he is for it. I'll reach out to him. I think he has a Twitter account, so I can just send him a message and I'll send him an email, and we'll see how it goes from there. Yeah, if anyone knows him, uh, try to connect us, please. That would be really helpful and great. Okay, so the next question is from Nikhil, which is what advice would you give yourself in your 20s? And well, I'm 26 now, so I am in my 20s, which is good. I think there would be two things I'd tell myself in my early 20s. The first would be that invest in what makes sense to you. So suppose you think some way of investing is good, like say passive, or picking individual stocks or certain ETFs. Like just focus on that. Focus on building up that, like instead of what's looking at what someone else is doing. Yeah, I think just focusing on your own portfolio, like focusing a lot more on that, refining the approach. That's probably the best advice that I would say in terms of investing I can give myself from um, 5 years back. Um, yeah, and learn, keep learning, like learn as much as you can. But that's a given. Like if you're curious, you're going to be good at investing in a way, or at least have the probabilities will be in your favor that you will be better if you are curious, if you keep learning, and of course try to funnel as much money as you can into the portfolio in your 20s, because each dollar that you put in your 20s is worth a lot more than a dollar put in your 30s or 40s. So yeah, keep investing, keep learning, and refine the approach. Really focus in on what makes sense to you. Okay, the next question is from Akanksh, I'm getting it right. How good does it feel to be right about GameStop? Uh, Pretty good, I guess. I mean, it's up like 14x since August, which is when I first got in, and 14 bagger in 8 months. How many months? Yeah, whatever. Like around in a very short time. It's been good, but what I'm seeing with the current price, there's a lot of exuberance in it. Like, I was expecting a 500% increase, but to see such a large increase so soon, especially in the last month, it's been pretty insane. Yeah, at least on my eToro portfolio, I've started taking some profits because for me, the price that I had planned on taking profits was around $25. So the idea when I first got into it was buy at $5 and sell in March, which is March 2021, when it hits $25. Because that was like, yeah, that is going to happen. Like that was a scenario that I'm like, okay, this company can achieve. And back then there was no Ryan Cohen. There's no, this news about everything that's happening, the board changing, all that stuff. So yeah, the entire company's changed in such a way that now it's gone from being like a deep value stock into potentially a 100 bagger, I think, at least from the price that I'd gotten at. And it's pretty interesting because it's got quite a good number of the characteristics, like that growth in the multiple expansion. It's got the small size. It was around 400 million or so when I was first buying in, and it's got it's in an industry that has large tailwinds in terms of esports games. So so yeah, I could see it even being like a solid 5x from current, like today's price, um, in the next 5 years. So 5x in 5 years, still a fantastic outcome, right? So yeah, that's my thoughts about GameStop, and it feels good. But I'm more happy about learning about how the company is actually changing. So what how activism has actually influenced the entire company. That's more fun for me to actually get into. So yeah, GameStop. Anand has a question. How long have you been investing now, and how did you come to the world of investing? So how long have I been investing for? Like maybe 3 to 4 years now. So I actually started with passive investing before, because in at university, like basically all the professors would just be like, the markets are efficient. There's no point in trying to pick individual stocks and just invest into the market, which really kind of didn't make sense to me, because I'm like, the person who's teaching me about finance and investing, not even investing, just finance, is telling me that yeah, invest in ETFs, forget about it. Yeah, so I'm like, what's the point of everything that you're teaching us? And this was someone who was teaching a course on futures and options and financial modeling. um, so yeah, that's actually how I got into investing. It was with passive investing. So actually, Tesla was kind of the first stock that I bought, and I got into it mainly because at that time I was doing electrical engineering. So I was really into battery technology, and clearly, I saw this that time it was a small company, but this small company Tesla, that's like revolutionizing battery technology. And in fact, Elon's focus was like he had a major in physics. Um, and he was interested in supercapacitors, that I felt like, oh, okay, like this is kind of the evolution. Like, basically, you're going to have ultra capacitors um, being used in cars, or to power homes. I don't know exactly. I didn't get into it too much because eventually I did leave my degree in electrical. But I was basically very bullish on Tesla. So after the whole like passive investing started, I kind of just bought like a small position in Tesla. And then when I actually understood valuation and how to um, value the stock and everything, I kind of said, okay, this makes very little sense. If you think about it from a real common sense investing kind of basis. And I sold out of my Tesla stock at like $400 pre-split. So that would be around $80 in today's price. Yeah. So 10x less than what the current price is. But it's okay. Like, I mean, no big deal. One 10x gone, another 10x came. Like Tesla's gone, GameStop came up. So there are always going to be new opportunities, that will make more sense and be better investments. Yeah. So that's my experience with investing. Would love to hear your thoughts about EQC. Thanks in advance from Joshua. So EQC is a video. I mean, it's a company that I'm going to make a video about very soon, hopefully. And it's interesting, definitely. Like you don't see many companies like it with people, that are involved in it. Like, I mean, having that combination is pretty fantastic. And yeah, I've started buying into it, but not heavily, not yet, because opportunity cost is a big factor when it comes to investing. And with EQC, it could be a while before we see anything really material change the stock, change the narrative about the stock. Until now, yeah, it's been fantastic because they've sold off a good chunk of their properties. But like, are they going to have the right opportunities with this current inflated market to deploy that cash and actually generate that return for shareholders? I'm not sure. Maybe if there's a crash, you might see something, interesting from EQC. Yeah. I think it's all about being bullish on Sam Zell. Like the whole, he has a quote where he says, I don't shop markets, I shop deals. So like it's interesting. Basically, I have a very close eye on it, and I am a shareholder, but not as much as I'd like to be. Yeah, not yet. Um, okay, and the last question is from Jack Duffy. You guys, if you haven't checked out his channel, do check it out. His comments are awesome. His comments on other channels, yeah. Funny guy, very intelligent, uh, good channel, good content. Do check him out. Thoughts on CVS Walgreens. So I haven't really looked at CVS as much, but of course, both of them are going to get tailwinds this year from the vaccination period. As you know, all the entire stores get into high gear with the vaccination, and hopefully everyone gets vaccination. And things are better within the next 6 months. So big tailwinds for both the companies. Walgreens is actually more interesting because of the 6.5 billion deal that they have, the cash deal, and we could see the balance sheet become a lot stronger, and for this company to do quite well, not only in the next 6 months, but I would say it's going to be in a good position to do really well in the future. Is it a 2x or a 3x within the next say 5 years? I don't know. I mean, I'm not super, like, it won't be. It's not something that I'm as into, so I haven't really gotten into it. Um, I've just kind of glanced over at Walgreens, but there are other opportunities that I find more interesting. Yeah, but if those don't work out, if Walgreens drops further in price, I will definitely start taking a better look at it. But for the moment, they're both good, but not great opportunities, in my opinion. Yeah. There was one more question on Instagram, so I'm just going to pull that up if I can find it. Right. So there was a question on Instagram from Stephen Warlow. What should a 31-year-old's portfolio look like? More risk. So when it comes to portfolio construction, it's a very personal question. So depends on when you need the money, right? So what is the purpose of the portfolio that you are building? If you need the money in the next say 3 years, right? It's obviously not going to be into very risky sort of investments. In fact, it should just be in cash, just ready to use it for whatever you have to use it. But if the purpose of the portfolio is more of a long-term sort of, you know, reason, then I would say, yeah, I mean, you can get into a few stocks. If you're not comfortable picking individual stocks, then maybe ETFs. Yeah. it's nothing about more risk and high risk. It's about like either, be in ETFs, which are super diversified, or if you know what you're buying, then go into individual companies. Yeah. And, you know, um, kind of balance it out between those two. So age is just a number. It's more about the purpose that you're building the portfolio with. That's at least my opinion on it. So yeah, that's all the questions. I hope that you like this Q&A, and I tried to answer every question to the best that I could. And if you've got further questions, I'll put up another community post later in Feb, where you can again add your questions, and we'll go through it at the end of the month. And if any other YouTuber wants to have a collab and do the Q&A, I would be very happy to do so, either on their channel or on my channel. Let me know. It's a very flexible thing. We'll change it as it goes. Okay. Thank you for watching the video, and have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.